What's happening, everybody? We are talking about the case that involved the shooting death of police officers of Cory Ruiz in Madison, Wisconsin. I want you to know before we dive into this case, it's a pretty simple one, too. It's a pretty easy determination to make in this case. But before we get into it, I want you to realize that when you watch this channel, one thing about me is I don't pick sides. You need to know that anyone that picks sides is making a mistake. You can't say this side is always right and this side is always wrong. Or you can't say that side is always right and this side is always wrong. Never pick sides. You have to use critical thinking. And you hear that expression all the time. And if you don't know what critical thinking is when you look at the circumstances of a situation. In this particular case, when you look at the circumstances of a criminal case, you have to look at the factors of this case. You have to look at everything from different angles. You have to take all facts into consideration. Okay, you can hear other people's opinions, but dismiss them quickly. Don't let other people or other friends or other family members influence you in the decision that you're making. Don't let media or society influence you. Use critical thinking, use common sense, look at the facts, and then base your findings on those facts. Okay? That's what an intelligent person does. Someone who is not intelligent just follows the crowd in the gang mentality. And that's what's happening in this case right now, because in Wisconsin, in Madison, Wisconsin, there's protest all over the place. And you know who's there, right? It's because the police shot an individual. You know who's there? Benjamin Crump. Benjamin Crump, of course, has rushed to the scene because Benjamin Crump will go anytime. Benjamin Crump doesn't show up on black crime. I told you that. Benjamin Crump does not care about the black people. Benjamin Crump chases the money. Benjamin Crump chases the attention. But this isn't about Benjamin Crump. You see, Benjamin Crump was just busy over at the Nolan Wells case, but now he took off over here to take care of this. And as I said, this is a simple one. Let me tell you what happened to Cory Ruiz. Okay. Cory Ruiz he's checking cars. He's committing an illegal act. I'm going to give you the story straight. Okay. I'm going to give you the story simple. It's a simple story. Cory Ruiz is checking cars on his bicycle. He's not only checking car doors, he's been inside of people's cars because he's stealing. Okay, that if that sounds small to you, or if that sounds minuscule to you, he's committing a crime. He's breaking the law. Okay, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. He's going through people's cars. He's stealing valuables, and there can be expensive things that people leave in cars. That's irrelevant. He's committing an illegal act and breaking the law, and someone calls the police on this Cory Ruiz. Okay, so the police show up at the scene, and he takes off on his bike. And when he takes off on his bike, they give chase. Okay, there's cell phone video of this, and as they give chase, Corey spills onto the floor. Okay, they don't know if a cop knocked him off the bike, which doesn't matter. It's to get the arrest, right? Because he's fleeing from a crime scene. He's fleeing from law enforcement. Fleeing when you are under arrest for committing a crime is a felony. So he's in the middle of committing a felony. He committed a crime and now he's committing a felony. And for those of you who have been in jail or in prison and you're already against what I'm saying, okay, I was in prison for 17 years straight. I was a criminal my entire life growing up before I changed my life. I've been arrested 11 times. So I don't want to hear this shit. If I was committing a crime and I was fleeing, I'm intelligent enough to know that I am subject to arrest. And if the police catch me, they caught me. Okay? Don't be, oh, this poor guy. He's committing a crime. That's why you call it the game, right? You're in the game. When people are drug dealing, when people are robbing, when people are committing crimes, yo, and you ask one of them, yo, how you make your money? They're like, yo, I'm in the game, son. I'm in the game, right? So it's a game. Some people win the game. Some people lose the game. You wanted to be in the game. This kid wanted to be in the game. Cory Ruiz wanted to be in the game. You know how I know Cory Ruiz wanted to be in the game? He got 40 arrests. He's been arrested 40 times. Okay? So does because he's been arrested 40 times give the police a right to kill him for searching through cars? No. Cory Ruiz wasn't shot to death for going through cars. We'll get why he was shot to death. So now this criminal is fleeing, which is a felony because he was committing burglary by going through people's cars. He either gets knocked off the bike or falls off the bike. He goes onto the floor. The police start struggling with him. There's 4 police in total. He's fighting. You can clearly see it in the video. He's fighting. And as he's fighting, he pulls out a butcher knife. He doesn't pull out a cleat sharpener. He doesn't pull out a screwdriver. He doesn't pull out a Swiss Army knife. He doesn't pull out a camping knife. He pulls out a butcher knife, like Jason from the movie Halloween. And you know what he does with that butcher knife? He stabs a police officer or slices a police officer. I don't want you to give out misinformation, but he cuts a police officer with that knife. And it may have been 2 from some reports I heard because 2 of them went to the hospital. At this point, the police try and tase him as he's struggling, but he's fighting so hard in the commotion, the taser doesn't work. And at this point, a police officer fires 3 shots. Now, the protests are going crazy. Everybody's going nuts. They feel that the police used excessive force by shooting him 3 times. So, what's the argument here? What is the argument you have? That they should have taken him down? They should have taken him down. It was 4 cops. 4 cops were trying to take him down. Do you know what he did? He pulled out a knife. If I'm a police officer and you pull out a knife on me, I'm shooting you. Plain and simple. Okay? And if you are, there's 2 types of people listening to this video right now. There's those of you that follow the law and live a law abiding life. And I'm sure you would say that if you were the police officer and someone pulled out a butcher knife on you and stabbed you with it, would you shoot them? And it is the officer that was stabbed that shot him, not one of the other officers. It was one of the officers that was cut with the knife that shot him. It's a fact. So, law abiding citizens, would you shoot someone who pulled out a knife and stabbed you? Of course you would. I mean, if you say no, I'll tell you straight up, you're probably lying. You're a liar. Now let's flip it the other way. There's some of you listening to me that are law breakers, that are criminals. Let me ask you a question. If I pulled out a knife on you and I cut you with it and you had a gun, would you shoot me? Hell yeah, you would shoot me. Hell yeah, because you're in the game. You would shoot me. So, this is the reason I say all that is to say there should be no protest going on. The people that are protesting either do not understand the facts, do not want to see the facts, do not want to accept the facts, or they're stupid. That's the truth. Or I know what it really is. That's part of it. But what it is you have a group of individuals who hate the police and hate that the police had to use force and kill a man. But let me tell you, that's part of reality, man. There's no other way to look at it. That is reality. That's part of life, I meant to say. Let me have a sip of my coffee, please. That's part of life, man. You can't think that you could run around and commit crime and free from the police and fight with the police and pull out a knife and don't think that you're not going to get shot. It happens. That's the chance that you take, homeboy. That's the risk that you take. Okay. And the lesson from this, if there's a lesson for those of you that are not living right And for those of you that think the police are wrong, the lesson is F around and find out, right? Live the right way. This is what can happen. He was simply going through cars and stealing people's stuff. He wasn't committing a major robbing a bank. He wasn't, right, but he was committing crime. And when you commit crime and don't live the right way, this is what happens, man. Now what I'm waiting for? Where's the GoFundMe? Is the GoFund? I gotta laugh. I gotta laugh at it. Are they gonna start a GoFundMe for Cory Ruiz? Somebody, Ben Crump, is gonna start a GoFundMe. Ben Crump is gonna tell the parents of Cory Ruiz to start a GoFundMe, and then people are gonna take their hard-earned money and give it to this family. Okay, so the family can give a big portion of it to Ben Crump. So they're gonna this Cory Ruiz had 40 arrests. Obviously, he was a menace to society. Did he deserve to die for that? No. Obviously, he lived his life by committing crimes. Did he deserve to die for that? No. Did the police shoot him unjustly for those things? No. You know why he died? He didn't die because of those things. He died because he pulled out a butcher knife in a struggle with the police in broad daylight and sliced one of them, and he got shot for it. And even if I was still in the street doing my own thing, even if I was still 22 years old and living like a maniac like I used to live when I was 22, I would understand this. I would understand it. There's plenty of incidents, there's plenty of cases, even on my videos, where I've said the cops are dead wrong. There's videos where I said the cops should be in jail for what they did because they were excessive or they were unjustified. I don't take sides. I look at the facts of the case. And I always say this too, am I entitled to change my mind about this case and say that the police were unjustified in their shooting? If more facts come out that I wasn't privy to, of course I have a right to change my mind. But from the way the facts have come out, from the video that's been presented, if you tell me that he dropped the knife 50 feet before, and then the police fell over and they were 50 feet away from where the knife was and they were struggling with him and then she shot him, I might have a different opinion. But that's not the way it was from what I see. Anyway, I'm wrapping this up. Wanted to fill you in a little bit on this case because you may have heard about it. Protests are going crazy. Ben Trump is at the scene. Ben Crump? Oh shit, Ben Crump is at the scene. This guy, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I gotta laugh. And waiting for Al Sharpton to show up, you know. Um and waiting for the GoFundMe to start. People are ridiculous, man. People are ridiculous. Listen, you guys have a wonderful day. I talk to you. All my best. Hit the subscribe button for me. Come on, don't be a lame. It don't cost you nothing, man. And hit the thumbs up too. I got a prison story coming later. I'm gonna tell you about a crazy story when I was in prison. Talk to you guys. You the best. Peace.